Hey everybody, welcome back to the 10th floor. It's me, Matt.
Good morning, everybody. It's Kat.
Hey, you're here. You're here. You're in the waiting room and now the elevator doors have opened. You can go inside, go all the way up to the 10th floor with us. You step
Yeah,
out, you look to the left. You could see, let's see, who was talking on the couch today? Spencer and Ava were talking on the couch today.
they were.
Well, today for me, because that's when I watch
Yeah,
Friday. I watch it before the show.
yeah.
They were having I don't know, they've turned a corner, haven't they?
They have.
They have. They have.
They have turned a
And
corner.
over at the nurse's station, they're having panic attacks because the babies are being born and Ryan is being dead and there's autopsies being performed and just police reports to fill out and just crazy. Austin has been hooked.
I know.
Just nothing. Nothing but craziness. But we're not alone, Mother. We're not alone.
We're not alone.
We're not alone. Carolyn's here. Mary is here. Elegant is here. Chandra's here Sunday morning. Guess basketball season's over. Hey, Chandra. Elegant is here. Kelly is here. Carolyn is here. Oh, goodness gracious. Jeannie. Hello, Jeannie. Sandy. Susan Russo is here. Oh my gosh. Just Carolyn. I think I said Carolyn already. Oh, that's it. That's the whole list
There
of
might be
everybody
two
that's chatting.
Carolyns.
I don't know. All kinds of Carolyns. I know a Carolyn. I'm related to a Carolyn.
You are.
Yeah, she says she's a big ball of fun energy is my Carolyn.
Yes.
She's like, you know who she you know Amy Driscoll always made me think of Carolyn.
Really?
Just
Does she
because of
have an
just like
element of excitement in her voice all the
just the
time?
excitement that always and just I don't know. There's just something about it. I don't know. Our
Yeah.
Carolyn's tougher, I think, than Amy is, but you
Oh,
know,
well, probably.
whatever.
Probably.
I feel like our Carolyn could kick some butt if pushed.
Maybe. I know she's
Chandra
smart
says
as a whip.
yes, the basketball season is over. So happy to have you here. Kaiwan is here too. Hey, Kaiwan.
Hey, Caroline. Look
Hey.
at that. Our elevator's getting full.
Yeah, well, I mean, the elevator doors have opened. We're out here on the 10th
Yeah.
floor. Hey, if you didn't join us on Wednesday this week, you missed out because we had exciting news because it was confirmed 100% no going back now, barring some sort of, act of God. We're going to the GH convention again this year.
We are.
It's happening in June.
Tickets have been purchased.
They have been purchased. They have been delivered electronically. The dates have been confirmed, and the last time I looked, we still only had 4 announced participants.
I haven't looked in a couple of days.
But they updated it, so now the karaoke is happening, the concert is
Oh,
happening, so all of
I
that has
have to look
been
again.
added to the list of events.
Oh, I didn't see. They had no list of events last time I looked, and that. Oh, so they've added. I have to look afterward.
So what is it? I don't know. They said something about the Savoy, like something is supposed to be Savoy themed. I don't know if it's the karaoke or the concert.
Oh, I like it.
Mm-hmm. So everything will be lit purple,
Oh
right?
my gosh, I cannot wait. I cannot wait for.
Just drag the
Well,
dang set over to the Burbank Convention Center. It's not far.
I know Matt's house. Matt is. I mean, Matthew's 30 minutes from there with traffic.
Oh yeah, it took me 20 minutes on average.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's super great.
If you I took you home one night.
Yeah.
I took you to your house one night.
Yeah.
It was well past dark.
Yeah.
And I got back to the hotel because there wasn't a lot of traffic by then. I got back to the hotel in like 12 minutes.
Yeah, it's super easy. Barely an inconvenience, they say.
Yeah.
But hey, GH Convention isn't the only thing that happens at that Burbank Convention Center. If you take a look at its, I think it's called Spectrum Celebrity Events. It is run by my Star Trek podcast co-host's husband.
Oh.
And they do some things over in that area. Never GH related, but I think they're having a Bold and the Beautiful. No, Days of Our Lives. They're having a Days of Our Lives thing, I think. I don't know. Carson Boatman's going to be at some sort of dinner. I don't know exactly what the details are, but if you guys search Spectrum Celebrity, if Matt comes into the chat at some point or watches this, he can leave a comment, leaving a link, I'm sure. They do stuff. They have like 911 Lone Star events, and it's kind of, gay themed to a degree, like gay characters, gay actors, kind of hangout sessions, Q&A type of deal.
Yeah.
But if you're into that, hang out. Check it out.
Well, I love the venue. I do love the venue because it's nice and close to your house. And the convention center's right there in the building next to the hotel.
Yeah. So it's
And
an
I
easy
stay
stay.
at the hotel, and I don't have to go anywhere after we're done for the evening. I just have to walk over to the next building,
Yeah.
across that little causeway that
Yeah. That's it.
and
Just
it's
boom.
nice. And
Yeah.
then there's a nice outdoor restaurant kind of bar place, and there's fire pits out there and stuff, and that's very nice. And then I go over there after Matt goes home,
Mm-hmm.
and I get other people to buy me drinks.
Right. There we go. That's how
It's
you do it.
nice.
You hang
And
out
then
at the
I just
bar
go
and you're
down,
just looking there, twisting your hair,
and then I just go upstairs, and that's it.
and
And
that's
I
it.
don't have to drive, and I don't have to do anything. It's lovely.
It's just a grand old time. It's a vacation.
It's a
It's
great
what it
time.
is. And then
Oh,
during the daytime, you get to hang out with a bunch of soap fans and have a bunch of soap experience and listen to all these actors talk about their experiences on the set and the things that they like and don't like and tell stories. And it's a good time.
it is super fun. And now that we did it last year, so we have a little idea what the canvas is like.
Hmm.
So I think we'll be a little more prepared for the things that we get to do this time,
Yeah.
right?
We'll have better expectations because we didn't know. We had a schedule and we're like, we've never done this before. What's
Yeah.
happening? And now we figured it out. It's a lot of sitting and listening to people talk and a lot of waiting in between. Now we know. Now we know.
Yeah.
And so we can make plans. We'll let you know with what we come up with. This thing's happening in June, so we got some time. Plenty of announcements to be made before then. So super fun, super fun, super fun.
Yep.
Jeannie, Matt, did it snow in your area of LA? It did not snow in my area of LA. But if you look at the mountains in the distance, they have a white powder on them.
Um, there is snow on all the mountaintops around me,
Mm-hmm.
all of them,
Did it
all
snow
of
in the
them.
Altamont? That'd be
The
interesting.
Altamont Pass had snow on it.
Ah,
The
see,
commute
that'd
on
be
the Altamont Pass was snowy.
that would be neat for me. That would have been neat.
And for you guys that aren't familiar, the Altamont Pass is it's more than a hill, but it's not a huge mountain range.
I don't know. It's like
The height, it's
4,500.
1,000 feet. 1,000 feet is the highest point of Altamont Pass, and there's a 5-lane highway that goes across it.
Yeah.
And it is the only decent way that's not like miles out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
It's the only way between Sacramento, pretty much, in the Central Valley to the Bay Area.
Yeah.
And there's thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people that commute between the Central Valley and the Bay Area every day.
It is
So
the epitome of Bay Area traffic, folks.
it is. And you cannot imagine, you guys, what it was like for a bunch of us California natives who don't really understand snow unless you like live in the regions where there is some, on a regular basis, like the Sierras or whatever, but or Yosemite area. But down here in the lower lying areas, we don't understand snow. We don't know how to drive in it.
No.
We don't know how to keep warm in it. We don't know how to do shiitake.
No.
We don't.
Nothing at all. Not a clue. Not a clue. What is this
So
falling? What is this? Frozen water falling from the sky?
So Friday, there was thousands of ignorant people
Just slip sliding and crashing all up into
slip
each other.
sliding. And then there was a couple hundred dummies.
Mhm.
I don't understand this. So there's a couple of like mountainous passes that you don't want to get on the 5-lane each direction highway over the mountain.
Right.
There is a couple of country roads and alternate ways, but they're windy
Mm-hmm.
and got cliffs and stuff. There's a couple hundred fools decided to do that on Friday.
No, I wouldn't have done Tesla. Not at all.
Exactly.
No,
Exactly.
Not at all. Not at all.
And they were in Tesla. They were, Matt.
Oh, just
and
falling off the
all
hill then.
kinds
Oh
of,
my
like,
gosh.
The sheriff, the highway patrol, a bunch of city cops all had to go up there and help people turn around
All the time.
on a cliff where it was snowing.
Jeannie says that the grapevine has been
It
closed.
was just ridiculous.
So yeah, California has just been hit with unprecedented cold and wet weather. We don't know what this is. We've never done this before. But poor Charles is used to it.
There was snow on the beach at Santa Cruz.
just
That's
super cold.
nutty.
That's just it's like that one time in the 70s for you, that one cold snap where it snowed in Fremont.
It did.
Yeah.
It did. It was February, same month. It was February of 1976. I was a freshman in high school.
The
I cut the I
bicentennial year.
Yes, and I cut high school the entire morning where I could play in the snow for a little bit because by the time it was afternoon, the snow wasn't on the ground anymore and melted. But we woke up to like 4 inches of it. And I went to school, but I did not go to school
Right. You just played all day, right?
that particular day.
I hear you. Hey Nathan, Daisy's here. Oh goodness gracious, everybody's just having a
We
party.
got a Nathan in our family.
Oh yeah, yeah. We can just talk about all kinds of stuff. Climate change at its best, or is a beast. Climate change is a beast, says Medora. Yeah,
Yeah, it is.
a little bit of shift in climate. We're not used to it. But hey, what do they always say in California when it rains? Yeah, we need it. We need it. Like every year, every time it rains,
Yeah.
we need it. Like it's there you go. Bad mama, says Kelly, for cutting school to go play in the snow.
Oh, you don't want to know the other things I did. Okay.
Now, on the opposite side, Krista contributes that over in Florida, Altamonte Springs, there's an E at the end, so it's not Altamont. I guess it's Altamonte. Ooh,
Oh.
sounds exotic. Altamonte Springs, Altamont Springs, in Florida is the hottest February that they've had on record. So hot, rain. I'm not quite sure what the last part says, but no snow. That's for sure. Oh my goodness. Well, I mean, I wonder if it's still super cold in Port Charles because 2 weeks ago everybody had to bundle up when there was snow outside the windows, but then nobody got in a car accident. And they didn't really talk about it.
Yeah, right. There was no big fallout of all the blustering
Yeah.
snow flurries we saw,
Yeah,
huh?
no, I guess it was just a cold day in Port Charles, and I'm into it. If they have the budget to do that kind of realism, let's do it. I thought that the snow falling outside the windows was really pretty, and if they can continue to do that during wintertime scenes, I'm totally for it.
I like it too. I mean, why not? If we can put the Metro Court pool up every summer, why can't we have some snow in the winter?
I know,
In Port
right? Oh
Charles?
man, that MetroCorp pool's gonna come out again before you know it. And everybody's gonna be hanging out,
Oh man,
Oh yes, what?
the Metro Court pool should be up when we go in June.
I hope so. That'd be neat, unless they're already filming like Thanksgiving, which they wouldn't be. They're not that far ahead. Yes, that would be cool. And it would be like, hey, MK Weir, can we go for a dip? And she'll be like, no.
So if we go in June, that means we go in June, beginning of June. They should be probably around mid-July as far as what would be on television
So
that they're filming currently.
so last year we had the Savoy was up. All right, so we got pictures at the Savoy of us hanging out at the Savoy. So this
Yeah.
time we need Kelly's or the Metro Court or Kelly's and the Metro Court or something so we can show us hanging out at all of the establishments.
Yes.
And have a great time doing that. Just as super
I
dorky
want
nerds.
there's a few of them I would love to see that we didn't get to see last year. I would love to see Kelly's.
Yeah.
I would love not the Metro Corp, but not as much as some of the other places.
Mhm.
But I really would love to see Kelly's.
Yeah.
I would really love to see something of Spoon Island, some scene from Spoon Island.
So Rebecca Herbst put up a bunch of pictures on Twitter over the last couple of days, and on it, she took a picture of, I don't remember who it was. Someone, I think it was her. Anyway, if it wasn't, I'm sorry for being wrong. Anyway, somebody put up a picture, and it was showing the set of Kelly's, like from an angle, like on the soundstage, so you can see that wasn't. You can see it from the angle, and you can see that the set is of the dining area and then the outside area, which reminded me of how Alexis's house is set up, where it's her house and then her front yard. It's all kind of one connected thing.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that they take the same spot on the soundstage. And so if we don't have Alexis's house put up this time, then maybe we've got Kelly's. I don't know. I'm just speculating here. I don't know nothing.
Yeah.
Kelly says that GH is 5 to 6 weeks in advance for taping, so yeah, maybe we'll get the pool. I don't know.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Because there are so many places in Port Charles. And for us to have been there and to see that they can only have like 7 of them put up at one time,
Uh-huh.
is wild, you know? So
Yeah.
I just wonder what it's going to be. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We could sit here and just imagine forever, couldn't we?
It's going to be fun.
We could. We could.
It's going to be fun. So,
Ah,
guys,
yeah.
did you guys see that? And now I'm kind of over it already. I just expected it. It's okay. Did you see that Esme had got herself a giant child too?
Yeah, they've been talking about that a little bit in the chat already. So clearly that's what General Hospital is doing. I've seen something out there, and then it was confirmed in chat by Krista. Hey, Krista, that there's been statements put out by people on the show saying because of COVID-19 restrictions that GH has put on, they're not required, they're not laws. It's just what GH is doing to keep the set safe. They're not taking babies under a certain age to be.
They don't want a newborn infant on the
No.
soundstage currently.
No. So even if you can legally cast, it's 4-week-old baby for something, they're just not going to do it. They're doing so. They're going with babies that have a little bit more developed immune systems, and
Had a little
whatever it
breast
is.
milk in them for a minute.
Just a little bit. Now it's super obvious because you got Esme sitting there with a 1-year-old going, oh, I can't believe I just birthed you through, like. Ugh. As an audience, you just kind of have to suspend disbelief for it and just appreciate the fact that she's not holding a doll. But hey, if you would prefer to see her holding a doll, that's a valid opinion. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. So, actually, when the scene first came on of Esme holding the baby, I didn't immediately see it was Esme. I don't know why. I just thought it was the other baby again.
Uh-huh. Well, that's because it is the same baby.
It's not the same baby.
It's the same baby, Mother.
You think so? I don't think so.
Why would they get 2 separate giant babies? Just use the same giant
Because
baby
they
and have them
wouldn't
wear a different hat.
Hoping that they wouldn't look exactly alike, I guess.
Oh my goodness gracious. Yeah, one of the twins.
But anyway,
twins. So maybe it's the other twin.
Yeah. So I was happy to see that Esme was dreaming. I didn't think that Heather, you never know with Heather.
Yeah.
But yeah. Esme was dreaming that Heather was in there trying to take her baby and stuff. And I tell you, yeah, they are really, really going to work trying to redeem Esme. They're really going to work on it. GH really wants to redeem her terribly. And if anybody winds up having any kind of custody battle, Spencer will not be fighting with his father.
Nope.
He's going to be fighting with his grandmother.
Ooh, Spencer. Well, I mean, Spencer wouldn't be like, oh no, oh, you can't raise this baby, Laura. He would totally be on her side.
I hope so. Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah. Hey, Jakarius. Jakarius is here. Jakarius is here.
Hi, Jakarius.
We got a party, Jakarius is the life of the
party. So we were talking about the giant babies, and we were talking about crazy Heather. Oh my gosh. I'm a little, the only bad thing about what happened this week when it comes to Heather is perhaps she's not going to be around much longer.
I hope not. I hope, I hope she is around longer. That's what I mean by that. Like, I hope she does not leave. I hope not. I hope she's not on her way out.
Because they're about to incarcerate her again.
So yeah, but they've done jail stuff, and then if they put her back in jail, then she can start doing stuff with Cyrus, and we love Cyrus.
Oh,
come
on.
We do. Wackadoodle Heather falling in love with Cyrus because Ryan is no more. I don't know. Revenge because of the connection to Laura.
I cannot see Cyrus falling for her garbage at all.
No, that's why it's going to be great. Oh man.
Well, I'm all for that. I'm all for keeping some scenes, keeping some set available of the prison where we can have Cyrus and Crazy Heather.
Chandra says Heather is a hilarious mess, and I completely agree. She's super entertaining to have on there.
Yes, she is.
And I appreciate. So, there's like some weirdness, let's admit it here on the 10th floor. Okay, folks, we watch this show just like you do. We understand that this whole Heather being the hook the whole time thing was clearly not their original intention, and is what they've decided now. But I'm still for it. I'm here for it, especially because of the wonkiness in the timeline and how it doesn't quite make sense. Because everything, I can't speak. I'm a podcaster and I can't speak. Um, because every conversation that Heather has had pretty much with different people about the instance and just like threatening Ava and Felicia and just being like, nah, get out of here. She's so unpredictable that it sort of still works.
See, she's so unpredictable. She's so crazy, but at the same time, still so smart.
Mm-hmm. You
It's
know?
love. It's fun to watch, isn't it?
Yeah, when they were going over the escape, when she was giving her statement, and then Esme was telling Laura what was going on, and the stories were almost the same, but not. It's like Heather had staged everything beforehand to make it look like Ryan was forcing them out. Like it would be easy to spin things that way. Ryan broke out and stabbed the guy, and I said, "Oh, well, you have to listen to him," and it works on so many levels, and I'm so proud of Heather
That's
Weber and how just nuts
that's
she is.
where the smart is.
The craziest smart person
And
ever.
then and she also showed, man, she could spin it fast.
So
She was
fast.
smart. She was smart when Sasha went in there.
Yeah.
Boy, if Sasha would have really been just a court appointed
Mm-hmm.
attorney that didn't know her
It would have
or
worked.
really have any kind of history with her or really understand,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, Heather was spinning it
Yeah.
so well.
It
She
would have
was
worked.
going to
It would have
she was
worked.
laying the
It really would
groundwork
have.
to be dismissed already and doing a good job.
Oh gosh, she just loses days at a time. Oh, she's crazy. Can't have it. Hey Beth. Beth says Heather is a great actress. He has Allie Mills who plays Heather. Just really just gives it into it. And I saw some Days of Our Lives fan because that's the shows that she comes from. I believe is Days, where she plays a similar crazy criminal character like this. They were saying that what she's been able to do as Heather so far, like the content of the story and the meat that she's been able to sink her crazy teeth into, have been head and shoulders above what she's been able to do on Days of Our Lives over the last several years, I suppose. Now, I don't have any
Oh,
frame of reference. This is just what somebody else said.
well,
But if
I
that's
hope
the case, then kick butt, keep it coming.
I hope she's at the convention in June. I'd love to meet her.
God, that would be so fun. That would be so fun. I'll have
Oh,
to check it
and
out.
you know what? You have a degree. You have like a degree of separation with her because you've been to lunch with her TV husband,
I can mention that. That's how I get her on the podcast. Be like,
right?
I had lunch with Dan Lauria when I was a teenager.
Sure did.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on to the podcast. We'll have some BLTs.
So Matt's drama teacher, who he absolutely adored,
Oh, yeah, Mr.
Matthew
Vinci.
did, absolutely adored, was college roommates with that gentleman, right?
That's exactly correct. So, Mr. Vinci from New York. New York. He called everybody hella dumb. He was that teacher, that high school teacher that just related to the kids by just not just that layer of
excellent.
professional BS that exists between, like, my brother has mastered it. I'm your teacher. He didn't have that at all.
No.
But we also knew that he wasn't serious when he called us things like hella dumb and things like that.
No.
It just worked. I can't tell you why it worked, and I'm sure if somebody came from the outside to watch the class, they'd be like, "Holy smokes, what is this?" But Mom met him. She got it. We all got it.
Right away. He was excellent. He was excellent.
He was a great teacher and a great drama teacher. And yeah, he was college roommates with Dan Lauria, and Dan Lauria was coming through for a play through the Bay Area. And Vinci was like, I'm going to grab some of my most passionate / most dedicated / best, I don't know, drama kids. And we're going to go have lunch with the guy. And it was cool. We went and we sat around. We had like Thai food or something. And he just told stories about.
And it was wonderful,
It was super fun. Yeah, it was super great. He was talking about being on an Independence Day and how he hated it. He's like, this isn't art. Because he's a man's man. He's an art, he's an artistic actor. Not one of those people that wants to go make just a movie, I want to make a film. Yeah. One of those guys. At least it was at the time. I don't know how he feels now.
Well, maybe he loves Shakespeare, you think?
Oh, probably. I don't know. They all love Shakespeare. Don't they? That's everybody's heart. That's the core. That's what happens.
Not you. Not you.
Okay. I just pulled up, I'm sorry, I pulled up Creation Entertainment's website to see if there was any new announcements, and there aren't. Wanted to see Dan Lauria on the list. Uh,
Well, yeah, but that's a great idea, Matt. When you if she is there and you were able to meet her, that is a great a conversation starter.
yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Melissa says that she met her TV son, the guy that played Wayne, not Kevin, but Wayne, the brother.
Yeah,
No
I
wonder,
remember him.
guys. I guess he rented a U-Haul from the place that she works at. So hey, look at that small world. Well,
Yep.
tell me, have you guys? Who else in the chat has run into a celebrity randomly? I've run into all kinds of them.
Well, we stayed in the hotel with Michael Redhead
Oh yeah,
Frentos.
that's right, Dylan Cash. That's a story that we told early in the
Cash.
podcast years ago. I bet a lot
Yeah,
of
we
people
did
haven't
that.
heard this yet. Have you guys heard the Dylan Cash story? Look at us not talking about one of the most impactful weeks on General Hospital. Look at us.
We will, you guys. I wish. Don't go away, okay? No, maybe we should just talk about it. Well, you guys let us know. So let's talk about Heather some more because oh my gosh,
Because you
she
love
was
it.
just a big giant can of worms, wasn't she?
How about she was involved in all that Windermere stuff and then Aftermath, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Who's the guy that played Franco? James Franco. Roger Howarth. Mm. But Heather's great. Heather's awesome. I like how now that people know that she's the Hook, it's now going to line up these characters to then be able to get revenge, have
Okay,
some
now
scenes. We had Sasha, we had Sunny so far, and that's just, Obrecht doesn't know yet that Heather killed her daughter, and that's going to be a great scene.
yes, it will.
So I'm looking forward to that very much.
Yes, it will.
Very.
And along with Heather's confession of everything, she came to light some things that they didn't know about, like Jocelyn.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The second time she was after Jocelyn,
Yeah.
and Britt wound up being dead.
It just came out of nowhere.
So now they know that Jocelyn was there.
Well, no, we actually have a number of celebrity sightings in the chat. I guess it's a normal thing. People meet celebrities a couple of times in their lives. It's normally, right? Unless you live in some sort of corner of Nebraska. No offense to people who live in corners of Nebraska.
I've met a few.
Chandra met Robin Thicke. Daisy met Thornston Kay.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. Oh, Kaiwan met the guy who played Franco.
Oh,
I don't know which one.
James Franco.
I don't know which one, but I guess. Estee ran into Little Richard in a restaurant. Now that would have been
That's
something.
cool.
Ma, would you have been starstruck if you saw Little Richard in a restaurant? You're like, oh my God, there's Little Richard. Can I get a picture? Gotta go up to him and go, whoo!
I think I would probably approach him. I think.
What would you say? Would you say good golly, Miss Molly?
Something like that. Good golly, Miss Molly. Yep.
Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, I'm sure my housemates are just laughing at me. Anyway, Ryan's great. Or Heather's great. Roger Howarth is who Kaiwan met. That's awesome.
Oh, okay. Well, we met him too, and he's got a very gentle demeanor, doesn't he?
He sure does. He sure does. I think that Austin is probably the closest to his actual personality of any of the characters that he's played so far.
He has a very gentle demeanor.
He does. He does.
And another person that has a real chill kind of zen demeanor too, but he's a little funny, is Julian. Who's that man? William DeVry, right?
Yeah, Will DeVry.
Will DeVry.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has a real gentle zen kind of thing to him too.
Yeah, he's good. He's a good guy.
But he's funny.
Yeah, I appreciate that. He died a whole year before the convention happened, but he's like, no, I'm doing this convention. I'm gonna, be able to hold this booking and say goodbye to my fans and talk to people the way that I wanted to. It was nice. Yeah, it was nice. It was heartwarming,
exactly
really.
What he said too. He says that's why I'm still here, you guys. I just still wanted to meet the viewers and the fans in General Hospital.
Yeah. He said, even though I'm not on the show anymore, it was still important to me. You guys are why I did it. Medora met Stevie Wonder. Melissa met David Crosby. There's Mike Tyson sightings. My goodness gracious. Kenny G. Kenny G. Oh my God.
G.
I want to see Kenny G on General Hospital.
My mom really liked
I want to see
G.
Kenny G and Marshall do a duet when Trina and Spencer get married.
It's true.
Why not? Why not?
I
Let's
do.
do it.
Spencer and Trina might have a wedding in like, I don't know, a year or two from now, I think, perhaps.
Ah,
They're
yeah,
gonna
yeah,
have to
yeah.
break up at least once before they
Oh,
get
there's going to be
married.
some sort of
Don't you
tension.
think?
There's going to be some sort of, you still love Esme? No, I don't. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. Before we get deep into the love life of Spencer and Trina, though, we got to talk about the other wackadoodle person that was on this week,
Okay.
and his name is Ryan Chamberlain,
Oh my
and he
God.
took one to the chest.
I don't know how I feel about Ryan being dead.
Well,
And I think he's really dead, dead, dead,
oh, I
dead, dead.
don't know.
I think he's super dead. Usually, when they put you on a body bag and zip your over your face on General Hospital, that's an indication you're really going to be dead.
But they could also, put him in a cryo chamber like Days of Our Lives, and he's going to be okay.
They could. They
Helena
could.
could show up with Dr. David Hayward.
It could happen.
It could happen.
Crazier things have happened. It could happen. But so I would love for him not to be gone forever
Yes.
because
Well, he's been
he's
dead once
just so
before.
fun to watch. He's so fun to watch. And I loved it that what he said to Mac when he realized it was Mac that shot him. It's,
So for longtime fans, I'm sure that was very satisfying. I mean, Ryan was like, "Of
yes.
course it was gonna be you."
Of course it was
Like I didn't see the original Ryan run, so I don't know Mac's whole connection to it. So I hope it was satisfying to people who did. And Melissa says
Well,
Ryan
you
isn't
know,
dead. Ryan's been dead once already. It's entirely possible that he's gonna come back. It might be a while though.
he's never been depicted dead like this though.
If he
But
winds up, if Kevin winds up putting his brain next to Faison's, as somebody in the chat had suggested, then yeah, I think we know for sure that Ryan is no longer with us. But I gotta say though, okay, I gotta say, all right, I did a little, maybe I've underappreciated John Lindstrom a little bit because I've enjoyed Ryan Chamberlain, all right, but I haven't really connected to Kevin Collins. I haven't really been interested in Kevin. Maybe it's the show's fault. Maybe it's my fault. I don't know. He's been Laura's husband and the psychologist that gets seen every once in a while, you know?
well, Kevin's so straight laced. He's not very multifaceted.
So, it's not very, I haven't been like, ooh, wow, what an interesting character, and I'm drawn to the performance. I've really liked Ryan because, he's crazy lunatic. It's really easy to like that.
That's crazy.
But I will say, I've underappreciated the man because he and Felicia having their conversation over Ryan's body, that was some good stuff. All right. Because, Ryan's like, oh man, he's dead. And Felicia's like, oh, it's so sad and I'm sorry. And he's like, whoa, that's a weird thing for you to say. This is, this is the happiest day of your life, essentially, but it was your brother. And then they have their little hug and the tears and stuff. And oh my goodness.
It was
Oh.
really good. Everybody kind of reacted that way. I loved Ava's reaction to finding out that Ryan was dead. He did a rounding gun.
Yes.
That's the way she talks when she's really, when
Good.
she's, yeah.
I'm resolute in this. Good.
Bonnie's dead.
Kaiwan says it was kind of a spiritual sequel to General Hospital in 1994. So I'll take it. I'll take it. Heard Jack Wagner is coming back for the 60th Nurses Ball. Can anyone confirm this? We can't. Krista, if anybody can confirm it, it would be you. You are the one that have been bringing the facts in the chat this week, not us here on the 10th floor. We rely on you guys to legitimize
Nobody
us.
tells us nothing.
No, the only thing we can do is speculate. And I speculate the 60th anniversary is going to continue to be very exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I mean, we're not even there yet. This is just sweeps, and it's been very exciting. Because last week we had the whole just all of that. All right, with the wedding and the prison break and all that. This week we got the birth of Ace, and we got the death of Ryan, and we got all that. And Mama, I'm pretty sure that next week or very soon after that, we got the Pikeman thing going down, which is going to be another cluster of story.
Yes.
There is no way in a hell that Jocelyn is not going to show up to that thing and get shot.
boy, yeah, yeah,
And then
yeah. I
all
could
three of
totally
these
see.
dudes are going to have to like
I
come
didn't
together and
think
be like,
about
oh,
that.
we did this.
I haven't thought about that, but you're absolutely right.
There's no way in heck Jocelyn ain't showing up to that thing to make sure that Dex is being safe, getting shot in the belly, and then, you know, Sonny and
Yeah.
Michael and Dex are all gonna have to be like, oh no, what happened? I don't know, Dad. I don't know what to do. What is she doing here? Oh, oh, it's my fault. I did this. If it wasn't for me falling in love with her, she wouldn't be here. There's my Dex.
I like it. That was
uh,
great scene work right there,
well,
Matt.
thank you, Ma. General Hospital, if you're hiring, I'm available. And, you know, well, I'm 20 minutes away from the convention center, but I'm about 45 minutes away from the studio.
He's right there, guys.
And then the
I don't
and
know why you're not using him.
Kelly, I understand that Soap Hub has named Allie Mills Performer of the Week. I don't understand why you want me to say that with my voice so badly. But now that you've tagged me in the chat with this information, folks, Allie Mills has been named the Soap Hub Performer of the Week because of her work as Heather Weber this week. Thank you very much, Kelly, for your contribution.
Well, she deserves that.
She deserves it. And so does Kelly. Kelly deserves the recognition, and I'm sorry for ignoring you. I'm sorry. That Dex voice work, Wes Ramsey worthy. I mean, I don't know. I guess Dex needs to be a little more southern for that to work because I threw a little East Texan in there, I think. I don't know. Medora says that Dex is the weakest and most clueless mob person ever. And Medora, I do believe that's because Dex isn't really a mob person.
Yeah, I think it's because he's not a mob person as well. And it's also because he has a lack of blood flow to the upper region of his body.
I had a fun conversation on Twitter with a GHWWE fan. I don't know if you're in the chat now or what your real name is, but I said that the lust between, I compared Romeo and Juliet to Dex and Jocelyn, but not because of the epic romance, but because of the uncontrollable lust that burned everything down around them. Right? GHWWE fan did not enjoy this. They said, well, Joss and Dex have said that they have deep feelings for each other, and I challenged that person. You can say whatever you want, it doesn't make it true. And did you find your soulmate at the age of 19? And boy, oh boy, is this a lustful story. They can't even like, Mama, at the end of this thing, at the end of the conversation, Ma, they're like, oh, things are so dangerous. I know, I don't know how we're gonna get through this. Just be safe, okay? I know whatever choice you're gonna make is gonna be the best. Like, they can't even get through a conversation without kissing. It is about
they are just
that.
so they are just got the hornies for each other a lot.
Yeah. You know, will it lead to deep love at some point? Maybe. Does that mean that they don't like each other? No, of course they very much like each other. They're emotionally invested, but it's not like they haven't fallen in love like Spencer and Trina have.
Yeah, like Jocelyn said to Dex that she's never felt this way for anybody before. Well, I think that's true.
Yeah.
This is her first real adult relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't think they're able to think about how they, any kind of longevity because they can't think about having each other's clothes off long enough to think about anything else.
It's not a bad thing.
Trina and Spencer are different because they had a lot of depth and growth before all this physicality last week.
Yes, it's true. It's true. See, the love between Joss
coming
and Dex
together and disappointing each other and coming together and disappointing each other and disappointing each other and disappointing each other.
That hot and heavy want that Joss and Dex have for each other may turn into real deep connection and love at some point. But what
Yeah.
Spencer and Trina have is the opposite of that, where the real deep connection that they have is going to lead into the physical. You know, it's like they're on opposite polar paths, maybe to the same goal, but definitely
Yeah.
moving at tremendously different speeds.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
and that doesn't
And I
make any one
think
of them
that,
more valid than the other or less.
well, and
Just
with
different.
Dex and Joss too, all their danger is ahead of them still in story, where all it's kind of concluding with Trina and Spencer. They're going to really be able to go forward now, I think so. And unless Trina gets just like completely turned inside out with this whole dad thing,
Yeah.
I think her and Spencer will start spending a lot of time together.
Oh yes, oh yes. So Trina's not going to know what to do, what direction to go in. I think that Marshall was right though to a degree, or who was it, Marshall or no? Trina. It was Taggart. Taggart was right to agree when he's like, Trina's really a forgiving girl. She's gonna be fine. She's gonna come around to you. I don't know. I gotta try like the teeth don't move much way. I think
You sound like him though.
a little bit. I don't know.
The phrasing's good.
Well, thanks. I watch the show. I try.
Yep.
ECM says, if the five families were going to kill Carly because she came to the meeting, how is Dex going to be walking around with Just after turning in Sonny and the gun runners? He will be a dead man walking. That's a good point, ECM. But I think
there could be something like this, and I've heard some rumor to this a little bit. Everybody's going to be against Dex, and there's not going to be anybody that's really invested in staying alive other than the police and Jocelyn. Everybody else going to want him dead.
Mm-hmm.
From the folks that we don't know about yet.
Yeah.
What are they? Pikeman's, Reitmans, what are they?
The Pikemans.
Sonny, Michael, at the end, no one's going to care except for Jocelyn. But then we're going to find out that he's not just Dex. He is so-and-so's kid. He is so-and-so's this and that.
He's really AJ's son. And then Jocelyn's going to like puke. It's Michael's brother.
Like AJ's son, or perhaps he's Brenda's kid or something.
Brenda's kid. I'm into it. People want Brenda and Dante to have had a child. Because I guess Brenda and Dante were an item at some point before Dante had come to the show.
I believe in Europe.
Yeah. So that's what people want. People want that. But I'm personally more interested in finding out.
I think there's another twist for the Dex story. With all kinds of complication with crime and all that, and double crossing and lying and conniving and all that.
Do we still have five families? The answer is no.
Do we still what?
Do we still have five families? No, we've been whittled down to two families.
It's just the Woos and the Corinthos.
Woos and the Corinthoses.
And now it's going to be these.
So the Novaks got blown up, all right? The Novaks along with the other guys, the Giuseppes. I don't know. I don't even remember the other family, but I remember the Novaks because of Joey Novak, all right? I don't remember that guy.
Yep.
So they both got blown up at Jason and Carly's wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Gladys narrowly escaped. She just wasn't in the limo, thank God. I don't know what happened to the other family that would have made up the five. But they don't seem to be a problem. Maybe their territory got absorbed. I don't know. But yeah, it's just the Woos and the Corinthoses right now.
Maybe that was Cyrus's little area.
Oh, Cyrus. Yeah, the Renault family. There we go. Because Cyrus had moved in and taken over one of the... That's exactly it.
And it got...
Cyrus went away.
The Corinthoses... Didn't Corinthos and Woo kind of decide to split it?
Yeah. And then we're like, we're going to divide up the fair. You did even 50-50. Yeah. Right? He's like the most Italian, half Latino man ever. So the Woos and the Corinthoses is it. So if Sonny gets thrown away, then it's just only the Woos. And that might be interesting. I don't know what's gonna happen.
Hey, some faker in social media tried to steer me into believing they were Maurice Bernard this week.
Oh, did they?
Mm-hmm.
How'd they do that? They slid into your DMs and like, hey, it's me, Maurice. I want to be on your show. Send me money.
Well, no, it didn't say that, but they were just really, really inquisitive, and they just asked me all kinds of personal questions. But kept on like thinking that they were Maurice. I'm like, no, you ain't Mo.
No, no. Maurice Bernard doesn't need to know my social security number. That's a weird question.
Ah,
You don't need to know my mother's
no,
maiden
you
name.
ain't Mo.
No, I am. Oh,
So I
blocked.
deleted them.
As it turns out, it's Maurice Bernard. He's going to talk on his next State of Mind. I reached out to this podcast that broadcast after me, and they were total rude. I don't know. Well, if it was really you, Maurice, we're sorry. Oh man, see, here we go, Ma. Then now this is really interesting. Now I've only podcasted about one soap, and it's been General Hospital. So I don't really know what things have been like for other shows, other fandoms, what people have talked about around the water cooler or on social media for the last 10 years. I just don't know. I wasn't there. Nathan says, I doubt Heather is the hook killer. She's protecting Esme, who's faking her amnesia. There is just some people out there who will not be convinced that Esme really has amnesia. And I don't know. Is that normal? Is that usual?
Well,
Or do people just hate Esme?
Maybe both. Maybe it's a combination of them. But there is a little bit of hint, though, that perhaps she will start remembering something because she remembered to name the baby Ace.
It just came out. It felt right. And then afterward, you could see her going, Now, is that her regaining some memories? Because we don't know. Because that's the last thing she said was the Ace thing. And then they put Heather in there at the end of Friday, and they have said no words. So we have no idea if on Monday, Esme is going to be like, you know what? I remember everything now. And I remember that you abandoned me, Ma. Mm-hmm. But I think that she isn't faking. I think that she still has her amnesia. I think the name Ace came out because what else are we going to call this kid? She's going to come up.
I mean, just kind of like Sonny wound up being called Mike.
Yeah.
Sort of.
It felt right. It seemed right. Well. It means that Esme's memories are still in there. They're going to be accessible. Maybe they can download them with a USB drive. All they have to do is call Dr. Andre Maddox. Maybe they can do that. But past that, I think that is legit. I think that she's really forgotten. And I think that they have really started the path of, even if I don't remember, I should probably go to trial for the things that I did. Because I deserve to be punished if I did these things. I think that's where we're going. And I think that of Esme Demption 2023... I think that that's probably the best way to go to get as many people as possible to be with it. It was for her to say, I believe in my heart that I did these things, even if I don't remember them, and you must punish me. And then the other characters can forgive her, and she can spend a couple of weeks in jail.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But then, I don't know. I feel like maybe there's some people out there that just want to straight up see her get stabbed with a hypodermic needle. Just like Alexis and
I do think, right now, I don't know. I do think that Esme is telling the truth about her amnesia, but I don't trust her as a character, because her character underneath all that, even though she was misled by her dad, is to be shady. That's her character.
It's true.
She's shady.
It's totally true.
So it could be, she could be easily start to remember things and will stay just as deep in amnesia as she can, or as long as she can.
Yeah, there's that. She could be faking. She could remember and continue to fake. She could remember and tell everybody everything. I don't know.
I do think she really is probably loving on this baby. I think she probably really loves.
Yeah, she loved a baby. Who doesn't love a baby? Come on. Who doesn't love a baby?
I think she's maternal for sure.
Baby. It's a beautiful baby. A beautiful giant baby.
And Laura is totally in love with that baby.
Oh, it's her grandson, Ma. She can't not love it. It's Spencer's brother. All right, so there was some talk on Twitter. Now that we know who Esme's parents are, what does that make her to everyone? It's
well, I was thinking about it. Who is she related to?
She's related to Stephen Lars, Franco.
Those are her brothers.
Those are her brothers. And I think they're also crazy, right?
Yes.
Is Stephen Lars crazy? Is Stephen Lars
Yeah,
crazy?
Stephen Lars wasn't crazy.
Oh, but he's in jail.
He's in jail,
Okay.
but he wasn't nuts. He
So
was a smart guy.
so that's it. Those are her brothers on the Heather side. And then the Ryan side, I think Esme's his only kid. But that makes Kevin her uncle, which makes Laura her aunt through marriage.
Yes, and the grandmother of her baby.
Which then makes
and
her
the mother
Spencer's
of her father's
cousin through marriage.
Mm.
But that's okay. If you just dissolve that marriage line, they mean nothing to each other. It's okay. It's fine. It's fine. Stephen Lars is Heather's son. Yeah, we know that. We know that. I said that, didn't I? I said that. Didn't I say that?
And he's in jail.
And he's in jail. Yeah.
And the last time he was on screen, he was played by Scott Reeves.
Right. And I guess that makes Lucky her uncle, Cameron her cousin. But these are all through marriage, though, so it's
right. Well, it's all convoluted. She fits right in.
Yeah. You can't be a character on General Hospital unless you're tangentially related to at least 15 other ones.
Yeah.
She's also related to the Quartermains through Drew and Jason's mom, Susan. Why? Is Susan Heather's sister?
Oh, cousin. They were cousins. Susan and Heather were cousins.
Boom, 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 boom. Oh no, this is problematic. See, what we gotta do.
Yeah, they were.
What we need is we just need a big earthquake, a tornado, a hurricane, or something to sweep through Port Charles and just kill 95% of these characters, and then we can bring in new families who are not related to each other because we need a clean sweep. There is no way you can get dropped in the middle of any of these families without the ripples just going from border to border of this city.
Uh-huh. So
Susan and Heather were cousins, yeah.
Where is Nicholas, you guys? Where is Nicholas?
Oh, I said his Lars. Oh, Nicholas is in the closet rotting.
I don't know.
No, Nicholas has been taken away, probably either by Mason or because he got up on his own accord. I thought that Ava did not take the opportunity to be like, oh no, we need to, Nicholas was here trying to help us. We need to find, and then opening the closet door for his body to fall out. And, you know, like she missed that opportunity. So I guess that's not happening.
Yeah.
How can Heather and Cameron be cousins? Did I say that too? Then I can't talk. Then I can't speak because clearly the words that were going through my brain were not the words that were coming out of my mouth. And I apologize. I'm sorry.
I don't know.
I don't think that they're cousins. I was talking about Esme. Anyway. Nicholas is lurking. I don't know. Maybe, well, I feel like Nicholas will be back sooner than later. I feel that in my bones. There's just something about the air around me. There's just something about I don't know, just things that I've come across in my life, just things that have just come to pass that then ultimately couldn't come to pass, that just make me feel like Nicholas may be a little less dead than he might have originally was, but I don't know anything for sure.
Yeah.
And that shouldn't have made any sense because I hope it didn't. Oh, goodness gracious. There's so many other things that we haven't talked about. We haven't talked about Taggart.
About Taggart?
We got to talk about Taggart.
I thought Reality did such a great job.
Every time he's involved with a big story, I am always left wondering, why is he not on more often?
Yeah. Well, his big scenes were just very, very good this week. So good.
They sure were. I really like his resolution. His resolution that he's like, I'm Trina's father. Now, the way he said it, too, was like almost like staking and nobody else can claim that they are type of stance on it. So Taggart versus Curtis might be coming soon if Curtis turns out to be the bio dad of one Miss Trina.
Well, Trina, now that she knows that they could find out with the DNA test, she's going to have to consent to that. Perhaps she won't.
Why why
Maybe
wouldn't
she'll say,
she?
Taggart's my dad, Taggart's my dad.
Well, maybe she won't.
At the end of the day, Taggart's my dad. No, thank you.
Maybe she won't. But then, then they can always just do a Carly and be like, oh, I found a hair on her brush, or let me grab this cup and run a DNA sample.
Yeah, they could.
Yeah, I don't
Because
know.
they could.
I don't know. Taggart scenes were realistic, says Chandra. I love Rial,
I
says
thought so
Kelly.
too.
I thought they were realistic too. I really think that if somebody who's like, oh, if you are a person who's going to learn this information and have it have absolutely no impact, essentially, like this information has had no impact on
Uh-huh.
Taggart. Now, if you are that type of person, which is a great type of person to be, then yes, incredibly realistic. He was just like knock, knock, knock. Hey, you know, and then what was it? Portia was like, I'm surprised that you aren't, more mad at me and yelling at me. And Taggart then did a little bit, but how could you
Yeah.
do this to me? I don't know,
Yeah.
just good, just good. And
Yeah.
again, I just like the claim that he stuck, and I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to what that means in the future because I want more Taggart. I like the
Yeah.
character that they have given him now that he's
Yeah.
not a detective up against Sonny.
I don't think he's at all interested in going to war with Curtis. I don't think he
Um,
wants that.
no, I don't think he's trying to go to war. I don't think he's looking
No.
to go to a war with anybody. I think that it's going to be
Mhm.
something that comes about because Curtis
Yeah.
is going to want to stake a claim, whether, I don't know. I don't know. I think that there's
Mhm.
going to have to be some sort of DNA test for this to be an actual plot. Because otherwise,
Yeah,
it's going to be the question that everybody asks every single day that this is going on. Why don't they just do a DNA test?
that's true.
So if this is going to be
That's
something,
true.
they're going to have to run one. And
And
then, yeah.
I did appreciate Marshall's understanding of it. I mean, I don't know, you know.
Hey, I spent a long time away from my family too. I ran the secret because I
Yeah.
thought it would be too devastating. I understand. Doesn't make it
Yeah,
right.
things.
If you can forgive me, why can't you forgive her?
Pretty much.
I don't know.
Pretty much, but it was just very sweet. I just loved it. I
Yeah,
thought the two
yeah.
of them,
It is
their
very sweet.
father,
It's
their
very sweet.
father-son talk was beautiful.
I know sometimes it sounds like on the show that I don't think that I think that only blood matters when it comes to family relations. Because I'm like, oh, we'll dissolve this marriage line and they mean nothing to
Mhm.
each other and all that kind of stuff. I'm only talking about just like recognized actual titles of people. Like if you
Mhm.
have a step brother and your parents,
Mhm.
individual parents, get separated and divorced, that person is no longer
Mhm.
your stepbrother, no matter how long they were your stepbrother for, no matter how many years. It didn't matter if you grew up side by side for 20 years and then those parents divorce. You might in your heart be like,
Mhm.
that's my brother, that's my kin, that's somebody I grew up with that I
Mhm.
love forever. That might
Sure.
exist in your heart. But if you were to ask a judge, who is this person to you, they would say nothing.
Yeah.
So that's all I'm ever saying. That's it. That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Some people I think are thinking I'm a little heartless, but I might be. I might be the most heartless
No,
person you've ever
I
met.
wouldn't call it heartless, maybe a tiny bit analytical sometimes, but heartless never.
And it comes from the fact that I'm really you're just ancient. Look at all this gray hair, and I haven't had a kid of my own. I don't know what it's like. I'm so far removed from children and how they operate, that I don't know anymore. I just don't. I just I just don't know. Plus, they
No,
also
you're
have
not
like 7 year
consistently
olds playing
around
five year
children at
olds. So
all.
I'm sorry. What was that?
You don't have, you're not consistently around children at all.
No, no, no. And there was a big, 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 big gap in our family with no babies. It
Mm-hmm.
was like an 18-year gap.
Mm-hmm.
So no, I don't got a lot of experience. So I say things like, hey, why aren't they telling Wiley more things? And then people are like, because he's 5. Just like, I don't know. One day
Well,
Willow's.
I disagree on how they're handling Wiley, actually. Um, I think there's a whole lot that could be said to Wiley that would be age appropriate.
Because as it
There's a
stands
lot of
right
things
now,
that could be
Willow's
said.
just gonna die.
They don't have to say, hey, mommy's got this detrimental fatal disease and she's dying slowly every day. Say goodbye to mommy.
No, they don't have to
No,
say that. No.
don't say it that way.
But when Willow eventually does die and just doesn't come home one day, what are they going to say? Because this kid's totally unprepared for it.
Because, well, you tell them age appropriate things right now, and as things progress, you might have to add on to something. You don't have to. There's just a gentle way to handle it for a 5-year-old, but soap operas don't do it that way.
I'm sorry, Wiley. Mommy's very sick. Mommy's going to have an illness. Mommy's going to be sick for a long time. It's going to take Mommy a very long time to get over it. And I might get more and more and more sick before I get better. I don't know. That seems okay. And then this little 4 or 5-year-old squirt will be like, okay, Mommy, I'm going to go play with blocks. And then they run off, not even thinking about it, right? I don't know.
I think so, yeah.
I don't know. Because I know people who commented on like, well, Willow had collapsed right in front of this child. He doesn't know what's going on. And I'm just like, but wasn't he like, hey, Mommy, don't go to sleep yet. It's not nap time. Like, he didn't know what was happening, right?
No.
So, I don't know.
No.
I don't know. I could just be heartless. Maybe I just hate Wiley. Do I hate Wiley?
Matt, that happened to me.
Yeah.
I passed out in Toys R Us.
Yeah?
With your 3.5-year-old brother, 3-year-old brother, holding his hand. I passed out in Toys R Us.
Oh my gosh.
Looking at trick-or-treat costumes, and I was 2.5 months pregnant with you.
I didn't know this happened. Look at me. Look at me learning something
and
new.
I just went like a rag doll to the ground. And I woke up almost immediately. I was only out for just a few seconds.
Yeah.
And your brother was like, Mom, and not like frantic or anything, more like, let's play kind of thing, you know?
Mom, you're late. Oh, hey.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway, only happened once. It was weird.
Oh, wow. Well, I'm sorry for that temporary dip in blood pressure that I caused you.
I guess, huh?
I just, you know, well, your body was just getting so excited to be making me that it just couldn't handle it.
I was very early in my pregnancy with you.
Willow's bio dad is dead. The actor now plays Finn. It's true. Even fetus Matt was all about the drama. It's true. It's true. It's true. Hey, Nikisha. It's okay that you're late. I'm sure we'll have plenty of things to talk about.
We haven't hardly talked about anything.
I know. We've been talking about just life instead. I don't know what's wrong with us.
My
just
goodness,
weather,
what are we talking about?
Passing out in Toys R Us, looking at Halloween costumes. What did he wind up being? Do you remember? Was he a Ninja Turtle? It's okay if you don't remember. You don't have to.
I don't remember, and I don't think we got anything there.
Well, I would think that maybe you wanted to go home after that happened.
I did, and the Toys R Us employees kind of freaked out. And didn't want me to leave at first, and it was weird.
What if you passed out behind the wheel?
And I wasn't alone with your brother either. Your dad was with us too.
Oh, okay. Well, at least there's that.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure Dad was not panicking at all. Well, hey, Ma, you know, here's the thing about, and then I just saw this note, okay? I had forgotten, okay, up until Dex was like, I'm not really a mobster. I don't know, I forgot what I'd done already. I had forgotten that he wasn't really.
He does talk through his open teeth quite a bit, doesn't he?
Something like that. I'm not trying to be mean, you know, like Peter August is easy. Anyway, I had forgotten that Dex was like not a real mobster. Like I'd forgotten that he had essentially been lying to Jocelyn this whole time. Like I had forgotten this aspect. And then she overhears this conversation and is like, oh yeah, so here's this thing that I'm doing, and also I'm trying to capture Sunny. Like it was just such a free give of information with no prompting. It was really interesting. And then Jocelyn didn't care.
Well, no, she didn't care. And, you know, he kept the biggest piece of the puzzle out, of course, and that being Michael.
Right.
but no, she didn't care, and she does care, but she's Carly's daughter.
That's true.
It's
Oh my
classic
gosh.
Carly. That's how
Oh,
Carly would handle it.
oh my
She wouldn't
goodness.
love it, but she'd somehow convoluted kind of way of explaining it, but not
Yeah.
liking it and not submitting to it, but still understanding it. Blah, blah, blah. Carly blah, right?
And it's so interesting too, because it's like, oh no, now that I've told you I can't do it because this is going to be a big problem, so I'm just going to immediately not do this. Like, let's plan for me to not do this, and then they have to realize that he has to. It was just weird for me. It was a weird interaction for me. I can't say that it was bad. I can't say that it was wrong. I could just say that it was strange. It was strange for me.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe it was just an awkward, weird approach. But that was the last thing I wanted to say about those two crazy lovebirds. It's two crazy
Okay.
lovebirds because we can take the
And let's
opposite.
talk. Let's wrap up Spencer and Trina as well. What
Oh,
else you want to say about those two?
oh, they're fine. They're gonna be. Those kids will be just fine. They make it
They
out now.
will.
Trina's trying to jump his bones, and Spencer's like, "No, this has to be perfect. I need to lay you down on a bed of roses in a meadow, not Oscar's meadow,
I
because you knew Oscar, but a different meadow, one with roses."
I actually loved it.
Yeah, yeah, you
I
loved it.
loved
It's
it.
very sweet. If you want daytime
It
romance,
was
they're doing it.
extremely romantic.
They're doing it. They are doing the romance. They're doing it
It
well.
was extremely romantic. I
Yeah,
loved it.
it's good stuff. It really is. I am not unhappy with it. I think
And
that
like I said on Wednesday, their continuous nonstop kissing wasn't gross.
no. They've clearly been working on it backstage. Uh,
You never know.
good, yeah, but it's good. It's fine. Way better than the kiss between Trina and Cameron from a couple of years ago. That was a different actress
That
though.
was, yep, that was old Trina.
Sydney Michaela. Um, but
Michaela.
good stuff. Good stuff. I'm happy with it. I'm enjoying the speed. I think it's fine. I appreciate that he wanted to take her to Windermere, and that's how they've found out about all the craziness and chaos there. I thought all of these characters winding up on Windermere, all of them made sense for what was going
Mm-hmm.
on, and nothing felt like contrived.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm totally happy for that because there was a lot of people hopping on a boat going to that island.
The
Uh,
only one missing, the only person missing was Uncle Victor.
Uncle Victor. It's probably good that I missed all of this. I need to find out what happened to Nicholas anyway. I'm busy tinkering with my weather machine. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe more of that next week, because it's because we got all of this big plotline stuff going on, and then there's the looming Victor. Victor's been looming for years, and they sprinkle
Yes.
the story in a day or two a week, if even that. Anna and
Yeah.
Valentine are running the thing by haunting the ADA or whoever she is, or the assistant
Yeah.
mayor.
Yeah.
But that gets such little time and attention that I don't feel like it's building to anything really right now. Not like the Pikeman thing has been building, and the Trina thing has been building, and Ryan and Heather have been building.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
that needs a little bit more time. It needs more time in the oven, as they would say. If this was the Great British Bake Off, needs to be in there a little while longer.
Uh-huh.
Matt, how
No, I
dare you
love
bring up
I
that horrible kiss? I'm sorry, Daisy. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
it's funny.
Oh goodness. Brick seems to be dragging his feet on digging up dirt on decks like Sonny asked him to a while ago. Here's the thing about the pacing on this show. It's weird, but things happen when they're supposed to happen.
Mhm.
I don't think we're
And they
necessarily
make each other
supposed to take this as one stream of time. I think we're just supposed to take these as stories. You know, not a day in the life of Port Charles, but here are the stories of people who live in Port Charles. I think that's what's going on.
Mhm.
So, I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah. So do you think Sweeps is over?
I think that Sweeps is over because it's February 26th. I think that this was the end of the week. The Sweeps week, or the Sweeps weeks, I guess, for February. The next one is what? May?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I think the Pikeman thing is going to happen, but it might not be I want it to be big and dramatic with explosions and a gunfight, but it might not be.
Might not be.
But it could be the start of building up to whatever is a big explosion gunfight in
Mhm,
May.
mhm.
It's still Valentine's Day.
Well,
See, yeah.
I'm all for it, and we saw it a little bit this week on Friday. I'm all for Sasha like coming back like ex
Yeah.
freaking Wonder Woman,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, for sure.
And she did a little bit
Yeah.
going into that police station. She
Mhm.
spun that. And those bumbling bobbies didn't even ask her who she freaking was, really, and
Oh,
let
you're a
her all
warrior?
in there.
All right. Yeah.
Exactly.
PCPD's terrible.
And I
No.
love the way Dante handled it too,
Yeah.
by coming in there and, like, putting her in check. However, letting her do her thing too.
Yeah. That is
I
good.
loved it. So I hopefully when Sasha finds out that Gladys has really messed up
Yeah.
so bad,
Yeah.
I hope she's able to just like take ownership back of everything and uh makes people accountable too.
Like she becomes like
Every
like an advocate.
Yeah. And Cody might help. Cody might wind up helping with all of
So
this.
so so Nancy Lee Grahn was like, "Oh, I don't want to be a lawyer anymore. Make Alexis do something else," which is why Alexis is a journalist now. Because Nancy Lee was like, "I'm tired of doing courtroom scenes, you guys. Can we please do something else? Let's do something a little
Okay.
more along the lines of where my soul really lies. Let me be a journalist who fights for justice." Um, but that means that we're kind of lacking a female lawyer, and obviously, we could use Molly more, but they're not.
Mm-hmm.
So I was kind of into the idea of Sasha and like that attorney, power attorney Sasha Gilmore. I was into it. I
Well,
was
I don't
into
see
it.
why not. I don't see why not.
Yeah,
But I
I
think,
mean, who knows what she was up to before she came to Port Charles? She could be 45 out of 50 credits away from having a law degree.
I think that I think with Sonny's help, she could really make Mrs. Wu accountable for
Oh,
what she's done.
mm,
With
mm,
Sonny's help, I know
yeah,
that Sonny and Mrs. Wu are supposed to, are supposed to be in a truce of business, but not really a partners,
yeah. Next
you
next
know.
year's story. Next year's story. It's for the 2024
And
Emmys.
then of course, because of who he is, Sonny starts liking him some Sasha.
I don't know what it is about you, but there's the woman I love and the woman that I need right now. And you're the woman that I need right now, Sasha. Gray, Baldwin, and Gilmore, says Melissa. There we go. They can open up a practice together. James Lott Jr. and I last year did like the 5 things that could improve GH. We both brought 5 things to the table, and
Yeah.
one of his was more workplace drama. GH doesn't have enough workplace drama. And hell, man, yeah, open up a partnership. 3 lawyers. I'm into it. I'm into it. Somebody comes stumbling in. Oh no, you can't defend him. It'd be bad for our rep.
Do you remember? And you probably don't, but Spinelli and Sam used to have like a PI office.
Ooh, that's neat.
They did.
Robert had a lottery. Why not Sasha? There you go. There you go. See.
But I just really enjoy Sasha,
Yeah, I've always
going
liked
in
Sasha
there
too.
and oh my gosh, and just Heather was so good at spinning it immediately. Woo!
Yeah,
That was
yeah, just
so good.
you crazy woman.
So
Just
good.
a crazy woman. Good times, good times. And we can't go more than 2 weeks without having Nina just tell somebody off, right? To just
Mm-hmm.
so it's funny because some weeks I'm like, Nina's fine, you guys. I don't understand why you give her such trouble,
Mm-hmm.
And then we've got weeks like this where she is just, why did Willow go home? Shouldn't she be here? She needs to be here.
Exactly.
I'm just like, shut up, Nina.
Yes.
I don't usually feel like that, but this week I did. I'm just like, shut up, Nina.
Because she was annoying.
And then she like corners Drew, and I'm like, this. As much as I don't care about Drew, he doesn't deserve this. He's not involved.
Oh, and
He's
then
not involved.
yeah.
Oh, oh, I'm sure they came up with that decision with together and with Carly. And I'm just like, Carly had nothing to. And so this week I can kind of see it. I'm not saying that my heart has changed. I still think that people are still being a little mean to Nina. But this week, she could have backed off.
She sure could have.
Bozzolini is here. Hey.
That's why that's one of the reasons why she never gets really forgiven and accepted. She pops off and says something dumb again.
Pushes it. She just pushes it, and then she walks off, going, payback's gotta be a bitch or whatever it is, And I'm just like, Nina, you don't say those things.
Oh,
they're gonna be ready.
In the same, I'm thinking the same thing every time when she pulls off this kind of stuff. At the end of the day, look, all this stuff that you said and did to try to make things better, makes everybody understand. Well, you took 4 steps back.
Yeah, it wasn't good. It wasn't good. I could defend things like in the necklace. I can say, well, she's desperate. It was the wrong move, but she was desperate, reaching for anything to try to make a connection before Willow dies. I just can't say that this week. This week was her freaking out because Willow made a decision that Nina wouldn't have. Like, maybe that's where the controlling mother fear comes from on the other side of the argument there. So just whatever. Nina is Carly obsessed, says Daisy. It's true. It's true. It's true.
She's revenge obsessed. That's for sure.
Yeah, so she's going to try to.
I understand. Carly should be held more accountable than what she has been. Everybody just kind of said, "Oh, Carly."
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anytime somebody brings it up with Drew too, he's just like, "What do you mean? I was mad at her and I told her that she can't do that again." I said that was shame on her. I told her no, that was bad. And everyone's saying, "Well, how can you accept it?" I didn't accept it. I told her it was wrong and told her she can't do it again. I'm like, come on, Drew.
That's exactly what happened. So, yeah, everybody did underreact for what the crap that Carly did.
I sure did.
But at the end of the day, Nina is her own worst enemy when it comes to acceptance and people giving her a chance. She kicks herself in her own butt all the time.
I did like what the show did when when Willow and Carly were talking to each other at the Quartermaid Boathouse, or wherever it is, the Gatehouse, wherever it is they live. They were talking, and then Willow was like, it didn't have to be this way. I could have gotten healthy earlier. And they went to commercial break, and I'm like, is Willow going to say something like, if you'd only told me about Nina 6 months ago, I could have had a bone marrow transplant and everything would have been fine. But she didn't. She's like, I could have gotten chemo and I picked this baby over Wiley and I'm a bad mommy. And it's just, shut up. And I'm just like, man, they're just teasing us with this now. Like the writers are teasing us with a confrontation that's not going to happen.
She's going to be on her absolute deathbed. And then she's going to get a miracle for her leukemia. She is. It'll be lethal. If it's not lethal, it'll be baby James somehow, some way.
Something. Oh,
maybe Maxie still has baby James's umbilical cord stuff cryogenically blah.
I mean, there's a whole play side of the family that they haven't talked about. Liesl is clearly going to be the match, but we haven't gotten to the point in the story where Willow is going to be almost dead enough for this last minute cure to come through.
And this is another thing that bugged me about Nina this week. Was her being overbearing as well. She should be in the hospital. Blah, blah, blah. How could she not understand that was where Willow would want to be?
Because she's more obsessed with Willow having the longest number of days on the planet than the quality number of days.
Yeah. So at her core, she's showing that she's still a selfish person.
Well, what she needs to do is not be selfish anymore. It's simple. It's easy. You just have to be selfish.
Yeah, well, that kind of goes along with what I've been saying. Nina has a hard time getting out of her own way.
Oh no. Oh my goodness gracious. Let's see. Carolyn, buddy, what? Same thing, didn't you? I don't know. The chat just loves talking to each other now. And it's wonderful to see how many friends have been made on the 10th floor.
It's good.
This is good stuff. Look at you all just talking to each other. Oh, oh. Nina's daughter obsessed. My daughter this and my daughter that.
Yeah, that's true.
Ned knows the truth about Carly. I don't know what that means.
Ned knows the truth about Carly.
No, I'm not sure what that means.
Uh,
Carolyn, I'm sorry. The truth about, I mean, he knows that he knows about the insider trading,
yeah.
but he has no reason to
Does
turn
he?
him in. Not yet. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Wiley is Nell's son. Can't she get it from him? They haven't addressed that. No, they haven't. No. Maybe they don't want to. Maybe he's too young. Maybe it's not. I don't know. You guys. I don't know. I don't know. This is tough. All right, this is tough. And Mom, maybe you can help me out with this, because it is
Mhm.
just a story. You know, like they're
Yes.
telling the story. The story that they're telling is that Willow is unable to find a cure. She's trying and can't find one, trying and can't find one, trying and can't find one. That's the story that they're telling.
Mhm.
Where is the split? Where does the teeter totter lie when it comes to like telling this story about Willow almost dying and trying to be as realistic as possible when it comes? We'll just burrow into that kid's bones, which we might do in real life. But why tell this story at all if you're just going to get the bone marrow from Wiley? You know? So
I
it's
just
tough.
don't
It's tough
see.
because it is so far away from what people would really do.
Well, and I don't think it's within character at all for Willow to do that. I don't think Willow would consent to that.
I don't think so either. I do think that Wiley's a little young for such procedure. I'm not sure that it exactly. I don't know the law. I don't know the rules. I don't know
I
what a
don't know what
doctor
the
would do.
laws. I don't know the compatibility, and with him being so young, and her being well into being an adult, what difference it would make. I think, but at the same time, though, since it is an actual disease that is real,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not worms in your brains or spheres in your whatever. Uh, it's none of that.
Yeah.
So I think it's a discredit for people going through it for it not to be told in a real manner
Mm-hmm.
and something that
Yeah.
could actually happen.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's what
Kelly
I think.
says that stories on soaps are half, sort of reality based and half definite fiction type of
Yes.
deal. So, I can get it there. I would just say, yeah, the answer to most of these questions of why aren't they doing this or why aren't they doing that, it's just because that's not the story that they're telling. They're not telling the story of
Yeah.
how Michael and Willow have rallied the community with a bone marrow drive to save Willow's life. That's just not the story that they're telling. They're telling the story
Right.
of Willow being dying and having to leave her family and dealing with those emotions, and can she survive, and
Yeah.
who can do it, and all of that. So
Yes.
yeah.
It's more, the plot of her illness is other than her illness itself is her mother. You
Yeah.
know, nothing
Yes.
else.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, it's a controversial topic when a child is conceived for a specific purpose of donating, but a child can be a bone marrow donor. Chandra says. So,
Oh
talking about those
wow.
families that have a sick kid and then have another kid just to farm
Oh, you know
marrow.
what?
And
I saw a movie about that.
yeah, because it's real. It actually happens to
It
people.
did actually happen. It was a couple of the two daughters. I
Yeah.
remember.
Yeah.
I don't remember the
I don't
title of the
remember the name of
movie.
the movie either, but I'm sure chat will be screaming at us in a second. They aren't thinking of ELQ. Why would they be thinking about ELQ? Oh, Ned will have a reason. I'm sorry, there's more. Ned will have a reason once they try to kick him out of ELQ now that Valentine is dead. Yeah, that hasn't come up at all. So when it comes to Valentine and Anna
Oh,
being
that's
dead,
true.
it's like the community doesn't care. There has been no funeral. There has been no sadness. There has been no there's been nothing about Anna and
Yeah.
Valentine supposedly being dead. And if I was Victor
Yeah,
Cassadine, I would find that mighty suspicious.
that's true. That's true. If nothing else, we should see a Maxie that's just broken about it.
Yeah,
Felicia should be beyond
yeah,
herself,
but they're not.
but they're not.
They're not. They're not putting on any public shows for Victor. on that front.
Yeah, Victor's going to figure that out.
These people are awfully callous over the death of one of their closest friends and allies.
Hmm.
So we'll see. That'll heat up in the
Oh
after
yeah,
sweeps, I guess.
I think in the next few months, Victor's a nasty plot that's been brewing for so long in his cauldron.
My Sister's Keeper is the name of that movie.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Victor's trying to get the body. I don't know if Victor knows that Nicholas is dead. Um, I'm surprised that Victor hasn't gone for custody of Charlotte. See, there you go. Who's taking care of Charlotte? Victor Valentine's dead. Lulu's in a coma. Who is raising Charlotte?
She's been at Laura's house for some time now, ever
Oh,
since she
all
came
right, there
back
we
home
go.
from school.
Well, there we go. Laura is Grams. Laura's just gonna pick up all these wayward kids. She's gonna raise
Yeah, she
Ace.
gonna wind up. She gonna raise an ace. She gonna raise Charlotte.
Well, my son is dead. The other son is in Africa. The daughter's in a coma. I have got no kids left. So yeah, I'm gonna start collecting. Yeah. Check confirms Laura. Oh gosh.
This is just a nitpicky dumb thing, but I noticed it on Friday. They showed Elizabeth looking at a photo of herself and her two boys, just her two boys again, with no what the heck is his name?
See, look at that. That's why he's not in the picture. You're talking about Jake.
Yeah, no Jake.
Yeah.
No Jake in the middle there. Aiden
little
and Cameron.
So is it the new? Is it William Lipton and the new actor who plays Aiden
Yes.
and not Jake at all?
Right, no
Yeah.
Jake. And I just find it interesting that they wouldn't have a cast photo with her and the three boys.
Well, they don't.
It was not weird when they did it once, but I found it weird that they did it twice with her just being, admiring the photo and being melancholy looking at it, and there's no Jake.
So I think this is one of those strange things that's like, why did you make this choice? I believe that this is because they currently do not have an actor that is playing Jake. Hudson West, I don't think is involved anymore, because if he was, they would just use a picture of him that they have.
So you think it's a cost savings measure?
So I think that they didn't include an actor in the photo, so they didn't have to pay him, because when you show the photo, you have to pay them or the estate. So
Yeah.
I think that it's so they didn't have to pay Hudson, because they don't intend on using him for Jake anymore, because the next time we see him, he's going to be, a junior in high school. So that's what I think. Now, then the other side of that is, why have her look at a picture and show us what the picture is at all? And I don't have an answer for that.
Yeah.
I don't have an answer for that. But that's a guess. I have no idea.
I noticed it. I noticed it the first time, and then the second time it was weird.
Because it would make no sense as a creative choice unless they've decided that Jake no longer exists, which I don't think soaps usually really do. So, I from a creativity, artistic storytelling standpoint, given the passion that these people do have for making this show, I don't think that forgetting an entire kid of Elizabeth's is something that would happen. I think that there is a reason why Jake was not included, and I think it has to do with the only reason why you would not include that kid, which is you don't want to pay for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I think. Melissa
and
agrees.
The first
Probably
time
get
I
recast.
explained it away as well. I explained it away as well the first time with saying that, there was a period in time in their lives where he was not with them.
Well, there's that too.
Where Helena had him.
But
However, when I looked at the photo the second time, I see that Aiden is too old for that to be true.
Yeah. So I really think it's just because they don't have an actor to portray Jake at the moment.
Yeah.
So who knows? I'd like to see Jake older and being Cam's number 2. He can try to dust things up with Dex and be a more emotive Jason. And that's the thing. Is Jake?
I want them to age up Jake and make him a little more like his dad.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And you and Melissa are agreeing with what I'm agreeing with Melissa too. Look at Melissa. Look at you, just being the center of agreement. Yeah, I think that it's an opportunity for them to recast some tough looking Jason almost clone, and go that
Yeah.
direction rather than being like Dex is the new Jason, Brando is the new Jason. Let's see what's
Hmm.
happening with Jason's oldest kid.
Hmm.
Yeah, and then Danny can be like the opposite. He can be like super sweet and sensitive. I don't know,
Yeah.
or he can be a
Could be.
drunk like AJ. I don't know. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you, Chandra. Thank you, Melissa. Thank you for the blessings. So yeah, that's what's going on. Lucky's in Africa. Too much for him to be there. Yes. Lucky is too busy. I don't know. What is he doing in Africa? He was a detective and a drug addict. Is he like
I don't
a
know.
photographer? I
They
don't know.
don't say much about him.
They don't.
They don't say much
They
about
don't.
him.
They don't. But he wasn't
At
raised like
first he was
Jason.
in Ireland. At first he was in Ireland.
So maybe, but he wasn't raised like Jason. Well, Jason also bumped his head and doesn't remember being raised at all. So I don't know. Maybe he's genetic. Maybe he's just a tough guy. Maybe the death of Franco really hurt him. He was upset over something. Maybe Jeff Weber's gonna convince him to be a jerk. I don't know, Kaiwan. Any number of things can happen. It's a soap opera.
Maybe he has a PTSD from being with Helena.
Yeah. Yeah, Kaiwan says that he thinks Lucky works for the Peace Corps. It just seems like a very Jonathan Taylor Thomas leaving Home Improvement story. So I just don't know if I'm conflating things, because Randy went off to Africa to work for the Peace Corps or something and left before the final season
Remember
of Home
that?
Improvement. So I don't know if I'm just
Oh, you're funny.
if I'm confusing Jonathan Taylor Thomas and Jonathan Jackson. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Jonathan Taylor Thomas. Oh my goodness, what a heartthrob in the '90s. My God.
That was the first poster that your sister had on the wall of a boy,
And it was my fault.
and
I
she was
won
like
that
5.
poster in the fourth grade raffle. All right. So
You
Miss
did.
Quisenberry's class. All right. I'm my fourth grade teacher, Miss Quisenberry. All right.
I
I'm not
remember
lying. Her
that.
name was Miss Quisenberry. Uh, Miss Quisenberry's class. She would give raffle tickets for good behavior throughout the month, and at the end of the month, she would have a raffle and she would give away prizes. They were teacher prizes, cheap things for fourth graders.
Mhm.
But she did get a big poster of Jonathan Taylor Thomas, and all of the girls in the class were like, and I won the raffle for the big poster of Jonathan Taylor Thomas, in which I became the most popular kid in the fourth grade for a moment, let me tell you. Everybody wanted it. Well, every girl wanted it. And I said, no, you know what? I'm going to give this to my sister. Because my sister, from the ripe old age of like 3 days, thought that boys were cute. My God, she's thought that boys were cute her whole life, her entire life. There has not been a memory that I have where she did not think that some boy was cute. It's been a
She started thinking boys were cute when she was 3 years old.
like
Yes, she did.
like big time. She loves looking at boys. Let me tell you. Now, okay, that sounds wrong, but when she's like 4 or 5 years old at the time, because I was like 9, 10 years old in the fourth grade, so she'd been like
Yeah.
4 or 5.
Yeah.
Give her this poster of Jonathan Taylor Thomas, and she just woof, just very happy. And yeah, the poster collection grew from there. It was like walking into a girl's room in the '70s of just like Donny Osmond and the Cassidy, David
Matt,
Cassidy, and all that stuff.
sweetheart, I should have realized you were gay that very day.
Why?
Because you didn't choose a little girl that you liked,
Oh,
that you wanted attention from to give it to.
whatever. Maybe I just like my sister. Maybe I just wanted to make her day, make her happy. She's who matters to me, not some random girl in the fourth grade. Oh, goodness gracious. Curling is a leading character. She isn't going to pay. Sonny has to pay for his crimes. Wait, if Carly is a leading character who doesn't have to pay, Sonny is also a leading character, so why wouldn't he have to? Why would he have to pay? I don't understand the logic on that one.
Well,
You know,
they're both supposed to, they both are kind of in trouble with the law, both of them, really. I mean, Sonny not so much
yeah.
right now. Of course, he's a monster, but he's about to, if all this goes down with the
Running
Pikeman
drugs
stuff, and
or running guns.
it turns out that he actually gets caught and has some federal charges and really, has a big old problem and maybe go to jail. Sonny don't go to jail for long, but
No.
a big dramatic
Yeah.
situation with the law.
Okay.
Maybe he finally got caught. That could be happening.
Yes, and the likelihood has never been stronger. Jeannie loved David and Sean. I imagine she means Cassidy's. I don't know who David Cassidy is. I think I remember Sean Cassidy. Who's David Cassidy?
I think I
Is
love
that
you.
David? Who's the father of Katie Cassidy?
David Cassidy.
David Cassidy. So Sean Cassidy is the less famous one.
Sean Cassidy. Yes, I
Okay.
would say so. David Cassidy's from the Partridge Family.
Okay.
I
Okay. Then
think
I
I
don't know
love
who Sean Cassidy is. Or I do know who Sean
you.
Cassidy is, and I just can't make the face. Oh, gotcha. Okay. So Daisy's
He's
autocorrect got her.
boxer.
She meant that Sonny and Carly don't have to pay. Sonny's not going to have to pay for nothing. Carly doesn't have to pay for nothing. I'm with it.
Well,
I'm with
that'll
it. That's
probably
fair.
be how it turns out. For the most part, that'll probably be how it does turn out.
Yeah.
But they're going to have to go, they'll be accountable to some degree. But, a life-changing event for them, no, they'll wiggle out of it somehow.
Sean Cassidy is the brother of David Cassidy. I would imagine. Sean Cassidy was on General Hospital for a bit. Says Chandra. Sean Cassidy.
And Sean Cassidy was on the Hardy Boys. Was on a series called the Hardy Boys, and he had a music career. And Shirley Jones
I see Sean
is his mother.
I know Sean Cassidy. I know this face,
Sure.
this famous face from yesteryear. Yeah.
And David Cassidy's from the Partridge Family.
Yeah, I remember David Cassidy because he was the one that like he was on the Partridge Family, and then there was that one Partridge. See, no, I don't need to tell the story, but yeah, he was on the Partridge Family. I know their faces. I looked at them on the internet.
Yeah,
look at me. I just wasn't around for it.
No, I was super young, like when the like Brady Bunch and the Partridge Family was on, like the first couple of seasons. I was only like 8 myself. I was like a little girl still.
Well, the perfect demographic for the show then.
When they premiered on, I think I was like 7 or 8 years old.
I think I love you as a friend of a man is a zero. Haven't got love you. I love you. David Cassidy. Kaiwan, I just enjoy your contributions. Say that again. I think I love you as a friend of a man is a zero. Haven't got you love. I haven't got love you. I love David Cassidy. I'm going to say that Kaiwan is a fan of David Cassidy and was trying to do some lyrics. The most popular legendary episode behind the music. Oh, nice.
One of the first albums that I bought as a kid, when I first started listening to records, I started listening to my mom's old 45s from the 50s.
Yeah.
Her old, Chubby Checker stuff and her Elvis Presley stuff and her 45s.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I loved music. And that's what I started listening to was my mom's Elvis Presley albums and my mom's rock and roll 50s 45s. But then when I finally got a couple, when I got something of my own, and I was pretty young, one of the first ones I got was the first Partridge Family album.
Look at you, Ma. Look at you. Jeannie said, Jeannie's 60, and she says that she's loved David Cassidy since she was 8.
Yeah.
Oh.
I love Donny Osmond.
Oh.
And I still do, and I finally got to meet him last year.
Well, my celebrities are from different decades. So that's it, Mama. That was the week. We talked about it. We didn't talk about Liz and Scotty. I don't know, Liz and Scotty. But that's going to heat up more next week. Scotty and Robert
that's going to heat up more next week.
That's not enough information. Mm-hmm. What else are you going to tell me? Elizabeth. Your witness is Elizabeth Baldwin. Yeah. So that'll be fun next week.
Yeah. That will be fun next week.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to it. I think that we got a lot of cool stuff set up. We got a lot of payoffs for a lot of long-term stories that have been going on this week, and we got some cool stuff set up for next. So hopefully they're able to continue the momentum and continue being just as good. Not everything has to be super high impact. Nothing has to, doesn't always have to be, the main event of every story every week.
Yes.
But so long as they keep it moving and keep it compelling and keep the performances great, I'm here for it.
Could you tell it was Sunny? Absolutely.
What did you talk about Sunny for? Sunny was just like, I'm done with you. We're never doing anything again. I hate you. You're not my son. That's about all that Sunny did.
Yeah, he and Michael had a little bit of a showdown, and I didn't think that. I don't think that necessarily Michael spoke to him correctly or not, but I thought that Sonny lost his cool at the end.
Yeah, yeah. I think that of all of the confrontations that Sonny and Michael have had, for this to be the one that Sonny was like, "That's it. I've tried to come at you from every angle." It seemed to be a little under, like like they didn't. I don't know. I guess for that reaction, I expected some sort of big blow up, some sort of big. You need to get out of my house right now, and you need to never talk to me or my wife again. That kind of stuff. I tried everything, Michael. I tried everything, but we didn't. We didn't have that. So I guess it's just a little different than what I expected. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's all. So we'll see what happens next week. Next week is good. We're gonna get back into the Sunny Nina, Willow, Cancer, Baby, Pikeman stuff. All of that's gonna come right back into our faces next week. So we'll talk about
It
it
sure
then.
will.
We'll talk
Yeah.
about it then. Wednesday, Ma. Wednesday. You wanna talk about a magazine? Do you wanna do a movie review? You wanna hang out on Wednesday with these people? Are you
Sure.
busy? Are you busy?
No, I'm not busy.
Well, we'll figure it out. We'll do something. At least half an hour.
You know, yeah, we talk about it. Wednesday's probably not the greatest day for it, is it's turning out.
What do you mean?
The day of the week.
Why? What's wrong with it?
Because I have Ellie after school that day, and it's my
Oh.
day to make dinner and stuff too.
Oh, why are you picking Wednesday? What's wrong with you? Pick a different
Well,
day. Thursday?
Thursday's 100% better.
All right, we'll do Thursdays then.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll compete against SmackDown. What time? 7 Pacific probably. It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate, folks, because my workday ends at 6, and I would love for it to end earlier than that, but it ends at 6, and I need time to make it home and push buttons and make a picture and tell everybody that we're doing it, and all that stuff takes time. So really, seven's
Because of his late exit from work, I mean, that's pretty good. We're getting on there like an hour after he walks out of work. That's pretty fast.
it's true though, and I'm an important
But
man with an important job.
It is unfortunate. It is unfortunate because it is so late on the East Coast.
Yeah.
But then I think, if it were opposite, well, then then our West Coast folks wouldn't be off work yet,
It's very strange.
and they would be. You know what I mean?
But it works out better for the West Coast people because when they get off of work, they can come and catch a quick replay of something that was just on versus somebody on the East Coast that was sleeping and then has their whole day ahead of them and now they're a day behind. Now, when it comes to our show, I don't imagine that people are just sitting on the edge of the seat waiting for us to broadcast. But when it comes to other shows, that's where it can kind of suck. Anyway, hey Boots. Apparently AEW Dynamite is on Thursdays, but you know what? It's wrestling. I can't compete against that. You're going to watch that instead of me, but that's okay. Me. I'm so arrogant. Anyway, folks, I'm going to get back on the elevator.
Yeah, let's get on the elevator.
Yeah, and we'll figure it out. We'll do something I know, 11 p.m. Kelly's time. Well, I appreciate you showing up if you ever do, Kelly, because you're awesome. There will never be a perfect time, says Chandra. Just come on, and if folks are here, they'll come. If they aren't, they won't. Thank you very much, Chandra. I appreciate that. Because it's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
That's what we said when we started doing this mess.
Yeah, we're gonna do our podcast, but we're gonna. So we had been doing the webcam version of it already for a year or whatever, and we're just like, whatever. Like, what's the difference between a live broadcast and what we're doing right now? So we pushed the button, and we said if people want to come, they will, and you did. Thanks everybody.
Yeah.
Anyway,
and what's been the best part of doing it differently is now we have a chat.
And now we have a chat.
And we did not before.
You guys are awesome.
Anyway,
Thursday,
the elevator, man.
Thursday at 7. We'll bring you something. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, Melissa. Goodbye, Chandra. Goodbye, Kelly. Goodbye, Tyrone. Goodbye, Boots. Goodbye, Nikisha. Goodbye, Jeannie. And we start like, goodbye, Joe Bob. Good night, Sally Ann. And we start turning off the lights, right?
Yeah. There you go.
Anyway, folks, you can get on the elevator. We're going to get back down to the first floor. We're going to go into our cars. We're going to duck and dive and juke and jive away from the intense rain and wind that existed in LA this week. We're going to turn our radios to previous episodes of the 10th floor, which you can find on all your podcasting platforms, and of course right here on YouTube as well, at least for our YouTube history. I have it all divided into yearly playlists and everything. It's super fun and super easy to find the entire library of the 10th floor. So have a good time. Check that out. In the meantime, like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't. If this is you watching on a playback, leave a comment. Say thank you so much for entertaining me. And I'll say you're welcome. See, look at this. Just the arrogance. It's terrible. Gosh. If you can't find our podcast on your favorite podcasting platform, you can reach out to me on Twitter at 10th Floor GH, and I will point you in the right direction or get it added to the podcast app that you're looking at. And I think that's it. Well, you guys should go some time with your families. I've been Matt.
And I've been Kat.
And we'll catch you next time right here on the 10th floor. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Goodbye.